Tech wrecked. BYU took the sting out of the Yellow Jackets offense with a ground attack of their own.
In sophomore season, Dave Rose's young Cougars are sharpening their claws for their second year in the West Coast Conference.
And at the Marriott Center, I'm Sarah Burchett. We'll give you the ins and outs of what to expect when our Lady Cougars hit the court running this basketball season. Get ready for tip-off. It's time for the Tube.
With no BYU football?
I know. There's plenty of football this weekend, but it's just
a lot of good football
there are, but it's just not the same without BYU playing. It's going to be weird. Yeah. But at least we had football last week, and let's get to last week's game against Georgia Tech. Jamal Williams started off the scoring with a 6-yard touchdown run on the first drive of the game. Riley Nelson would throw a pick 6 to tie it at 7, but he made up for it here with this 10-yard tuck into the end zone to go up 21-7. But the Yellow Jackets just wouldn't go away. On the ensuing kickoff, Jamal Golden finds a crease and doesn't look back, taking it 97 yards to the house. It would be the Rambling Wreck's first return TD since 1998. But it was all Cougars from there. Right here, you'll see Daniel Sorensen pick off Tevin Washington, returning at 26 yards to set up Jamal's third touchdown run of the game, this one from just 1 yard out. And he tack on a fourth score, this one a 39-yard TD catch, as the Cougars wrecked the Ramblers 41-17. And the Cougars had been feeling homesick up until Saturday, which marked their first road win of the season. They scored 3 times as many points, gained almost twice the yards, and the defense allowed nearly half of what it averaged in the first 3 games. But the key was the turnovers. BYU coughed up the ball 3 times a game in those 3 heartbreakers, which the Cougars lost by a combined 7 points.
With the football team taking this weekend off, BYU fans can turn their attention to my favorite place, the hardwood. The men's basketball team kicked off exhibition play against Southeastern Oklahoma State and did it with a dominating fashion. Brandon Davies led the way with 25 points for the Cougs, including a pair of monster slamma jammas like this alley-oop in the defender's grill. The big fella even showed off his range, knocking down a 3. Recently returned missionary Tyler Haws picked up where he left off before his mission, filling up the stat sheet with 15 points, 4 boards, and 4 assists. Senior captain Brock Zylstra knocked down 2 outside shots as part of a 17-point outing. And there were some new faces on the court for the Cougs as well, like true freshman guard Corey Calvert, who had 8 points, 4 assists, and a steal, which led to the transition basket for the Cougars. They went on to smash the Salvage Storm 103-57.
And it's the second season in the post-Jimmer era, and Matt Carlino's second season filling those big shoes at point guard. CougTube reporter Mary Blanchard headed to the Marriott Center to get an idea how Carlino and the rest of the guards are going to be able to do. Mary, what can we expect for Carlino? Will he be more consistent this year?
I think he will be, Sean. His coaches and his teammates are excited about the improvements that he's made in the offseason. And the guards feel good about the pace Carlino is setting for their game.
It's Tyler Haws' first season back after his mission. He says that the biggest change in the team is the experience level. Before he left, he played with upperclassmen, but to a much younger team, with only 3 seniors, 2 of them in the backcourt.
I'm very excited about our backcourt. I feel like we got really talented guards who really play well off each other, and Matt's playing so well right now. He's playing fast, and when he plays fast, everyone else runs alongside with him, and we're a lot better team.
A lot of guards saw playing time against Southeastern Oklahoma State, but there are more guards than there are starting spots, meaning some players are going to have to come off the bench.
Tyler, I mean, he took 2 years off, but I mean, he had played a year before. Raul, he's been looking good so far. He obviously hasn't been here like the other guys, like Corey also hasn't been here, so they're learning still, but they both look good.
But that's just speculation. Coach Rose says he won't know for a couple of games. He says that there are 9 or 10 on the team that could potentially start. But Captain Haws is a safe bet for shooting guard as well as Zylstra, and definitely Carlino at point.
In this case, having options is a very good thing. According to the team, it won't matter which guards start for Rose. They're all friends on and off the court, and that helps them play together well. From what I've seen, there's a great balance of experience in those willing to learn from it. Zylstra and Carlino really have a handle on the Cougars' offense, and just from the scrimmage in an exhibition game, you can tell that Haas, Delgado, and Calvert are having no trouble following their lead. The guards are doing what they're on the floor to do.
And Mary, what can you tell us about Anson Winder's status?
Well, he's still in a boot, but the x-rays came back negative, so he'll be back. We're just not exactly sure when.
Well, let's hope that it's sooner rather than later. Thanks, Mary.
We hope Anson gets better soon. From the backcourt to the bigs, this year's BYU squad will have some young guns and new faces. But as KOOQ2 reporter Jake Edmond tells us, it's that lone senior forward that will be turning some heads this season. Jake, what does the front court look like this year?
Yeah, Taylor, 3 of BYU's 5 bigs are underclassmen this year, which means the lone senior, Brandon Davies, he's going to have to carry this unit, and he'll be using a secret weapon.
The Cougar front court is rebuilding this year after the graduation of forward Noah Hartsock, who averaged almost 17 points per game last season. The Cougars can't rely on Hartsock's clutch play, but this year's bigs are confident they can pick up where Hartsock left off.
We have capable shooters, you know, Nate and Augie, they're all great 15-foot range shooters. They can all knock that shot down, and right now it's just a part of gaining confidence and getting reps in.
But Davies is selling himself short. 15 feet could be a fraction of his actual range. Following the Cougar tip-off and exhibition game against Southeastern Oklahoma State, Davies is 2 for 3 from beyond the arc.
So that's just one of those things, you know, that I've added just to try to make myself better and progress.
And although this may not be Davies' forte, Coach Rose has given him the green light, at least for now.
I'm a pretty easy guy to please. If you make more than you miss, then you can shoot them, you know, and that's what we'll try and stay with that philosophy.
If Davies continues to develop his range, he'll anchor a BYU front court that is already chock full of raw talent. So move over, Noah Hartsock. There's a new big man on campus, and he's got range.
Now, Davies is before this season, he was 1 for 4 from beyond the arc. This year so far, he's already 2 for 3. And even though those numbers don't count, it's giving fans something really to look forward to as far as Davies' range. In the newsroom, Jake Edmonds, KOOQ2.
So, Jake, we know about Davies, but what other bigs should we be excited for?
Yeah, obviously Davies is not the only player on the team. We have Nate Austin. Obviously, if he can stay out of foul trouble, he'll provide a big boost on offense. The wild card this year is newcomer Augustine Ambrosino, who hasn't played very great. Obviously, he didn't play very well against Southeastern Oklahoma State. But when he played at Salt Lake Community College, he was able to score 40% of his three-pointers at that community college. So look for him to provide a big boost as well on offense.
We're so excited about this season. Thanks, Jake.
And when KOOQ2 comes back, taming the Toreros, the BYU women's volleyball team continued their winning ways in a 3-1 San Diego spike.
And ladies first, the BYU women's basketball team is back on the court. What will it take for them to improve on last season's success? We'll break it down for you.
It was the women's turn to tip off in the Marriott Center last night, taking on the Eagles of Chadron State. And the Lady Cougars took advantage of the chance to take on somebody other than themselves. After the Eagles scored the first 2, BYU ripped off 18 unanswered points and never looked back. Even the young fans liked what they saw. Haley Steed led the charge with 10 points and 7 assists, including this three-pointer on a Lexi Eaton assist. She was one of 3 players in double figures, and 13 different Cougars got on the scoreboard as they rolled 89-51.
The men are storming the court on Saturday, but it's ladies first tonight. KOOQ2 reporter Sarah Burchett is at the Marriott Center. Sarah?
The BYU women's basketball team is going big this season. When it comes to centers and forwards, their height puts them literally above the rest. But it's not just their size that sets them apart. These Cougars make big things happen on the court. The ladies known as the BYU Bigs weren't always ballers.
I was a tap dancer, actually, before I got into basketball.
I did gymnastics when I was little. So I was a little gymnast before I became a basketball player.
But by the time high school came around, these soon-to-be Cougars had found their sport and a growth spurt.
No one wants to be big in high school, and so nowadays I love being big. I'm proud to be tall and thick because I can use it to my advantage. So
the Cougars will turn to fresh faces to fill the hole left behind by Kristen Riley and Danny Peterson. New recruit McKaylee Orton is ready to tackle a rebound-intensive Cougar game plan.
As bigs, definitely rebounding is going to be huge this year.
Personally, just learning Jenny's system and getting used to it all, because it's definitely a whole different game than high school.
Center Jennifer Hampson has high hopes down low this season and says she's prepared to lead the Cougars to the top.
You always want to try to improve and, dominate and try to do as best you can as a position-wise, but as a team, we want to do as best we can and hopefully win some championships and go on further if we can.
Ranging from 6 foot to 6'7", the Cougar Bigs say they aren't worried about measuring up this season. The greatest challenge is just going to be coming together and finding and winning rhythm. CougTube reporter Royce Hinton is also tracking the Lady Cougars with me this week. Royce, you heard what the players said, but what do you think is going to be the greatest challenge for the Cougar Bigs this season?
Well, the players talked a lot about coming together as a team, but I think it's going to be more than that. They're going to have to come together around their big Jennifer Hampson. Now, she's the center on this year's squad, but she's also the leader of the forwards, so she's going to have to really come out and perform.
And she's the only rostered center on the squad. She's by far the tallest player, 6'7", 5 inches taller than any of the other players on the team. She is definitely the weapon of choice and the intimidation factor for the Lady Cougars. She's been healthy for 2 seasons, but they're going to really be counting on her to stay healthy. And they're also going to be counting on an experienced group of guards.
Absolutely. Last year's guards learned to work together through 33 games, and this year they're all back for another year at the front of the court.
A terrific trio of guards last year carried BYU women's basketball to a 26-7 record and a trip to the NCAA tournament. And all 3 are back to build on last year's success.
I think we're all really excited for the year. I think we have a lot of good expectations and high expectations. I think that we have a preseason that if we do well, that it will give us some good momentum and some good confidence going into conference.
The Lady Cougars are hoping to improve on a conference record of 12-4 last year, but they'll need to break through opposing defenses and make room for the BYU sharpshooters.
So one of my strengths is driving and getting to the hoop, so that's a good way to break down the defense, and that opens things up for the shooters outside, and we have a lot of great shooters on the team.
Last year, Eaton shot 44% from the field, including 77% from the stripe. BYU is counting on a repeat performance from Eaton and company this season to carry them to a WCC title.
They're big directors on the court, and we expect a lot out of them every single day. And so this year we're going to expect even more out of them because they're all experienced. So it'll be a good year for them.
The 3 returning upperclassmen will act as mentors to the 9 underclassmen guards who will one day fill their shoes.
The fans are excited that the 3 starting guards are returning again this year, but the Cougs almost returned just 2 of those starters.
One of the big stories of the season, Haley Steed coming back for her 7th season at point guard with the Cougars. What kind of an impact is her return going to make on the court?
Well, the impact is huge. Normally players don't get to play for 7 years, but because she had 3 ACL tear injuries on her knee, she's been granted another year to play. So during her time on the sideline, she told me that she was able to gain a lot of maturity and experience just learning and watching the game.
And the Cougars are going to be playing right here tonight at 7 against the Dixie State Red Storm. Dixie State is a Division II school, but how important is it that we still get a win tonight, Royce?
A win tonight is huge. Last year, BYU was 12-2 here at the Marriott Center, so they were very good at home. And their next 5 road games are road games here, so they'll definitely want to be able to win tonight.
And you know what else we're going to definitely want to do? Not miss this season.
That's right.
Thanks, Royce. Well, Cougar fans, this is what we've been waiting for. They're ready to play. We're ready to watch. Basketball is here. At the Marriott Center, I'm Sarah Burchett for Royce Hinton. Sean and Taylor, back to you.
Thanks, Sarah. We're excited to see what the ladies do. In this conference, the women's basketball preseason hype is all about the Cougars. For the first time in 5 years, Gonzaga finds itself second fiddle in the WCC preseason coaches poll with 5 first-place votes, and the Lady Cougars took the top spot from the Bulldogs. The Cougs also led with the conference with an impressive 3 selections to the preseason All-WCC team.
And when CougTube returns, pitch perfect. The undefeated Queens of Southfield are conference champs and looking for more come tourney time.
And don't take out your winter clothes just yet. 11 game time weather.
The 2 West Coast Conference powerhouses in women's volleyball found themselves on national TV as number 17 BYU squared off against number 18 San Diego Wednesday night. After splitting the first 2 sets, the Lady Cougs refocused their efforts and came out of the break looking for the kill. Junior Jennifer Hampson finished just shy of the elusive triple-double with 15 kills, 12 digs, and 9 blocks. And senior Nicole Warner registered her first double-double of the year with 11 kills and 10 blocks.
BYU took the match 3 sets to 1 and now all alone at the top of the conference rankings. Now it's a good time to be a BYU women's soccer fan. The Lady Cougars soccer team took the pitch against St. Mary's on Saturday, looking to make it 5 wins in a row. Chloe Coulihan led things off with a goal in the 13th minute, helping BYU to a 20-0 halftime lead. Carly Payne-Holmo added an unassisted goal coming out of the halftime, bouncing it off the crossbar and over the goal line, her 5th goal of the season. Then it went to Marissa Nimmer from beyond the 18-yard line. Nimmer range, one might say, as the Lady Cougars blow out the Gales 5-0. The Cougars were locked up in an overtime thriller last night against LMU. BYU's Marissa Nimmer scored the game's only goal in the 103rd minute of the game to give the Cougars the win and the outright West Coast Conference title.
And the regular season is winding down for BYU women's soccer, and the team is gearing up for the NCAA tournament. Cougar 2 reporter Skylar Hardman tells us what the team has accomplished during this last week of the season.
From senior night last Saturday to locking up a conference championship yesterday, the Cougars have had a stellar week. The seniors were honored before putting on a dominant display in their final regular season game at Southfield.
We have had an outstanding season. To come out here and play awesome and score 5 big goals, it helps our confidence a lot.
This season is the best the team has had since 1996, when they finished 21-1. Fans may have celebrated like it was the last time they'll see the team in Provo this year, but head coach Jennifer Rockwood hopes that's not the case.
We actually haven't talked too much about our seniors because we hope that we could have a few more games ahead of us, and so we're not even considering it being near the end.
The Cougars, who haven't lost since August 25th, are ranked 4th in the coaches poll. The ranking is an honor the Cougs don't want to let slip away before the NCAA tourney is seeded.
There's a little bit of pressure for sure, being ranked so high, knowing that if you lose a game, you'll go down. But we just take one game at a time and come out here knowing that if we play our best, we can beat anyone.
With a win last night against LMU, the Cougars secured their first regular season conference championship since 2009. That championship, accompanied by the nation's 5th highest RPI, has the Cougars in prime position to host a game in the first round of the NCAA tournament. BYU doesn't have much of a choice but to think about the season one game at a time now. Tomorrow, they will close out the season at 22nd ranked Pepperdine and then wait to see the bracket.
Thanks, Skylar. And along with that strong senior lineup for our women's soccer team, the West Coast Conference named junior powerhouse Chloe Coulihan Conference Player of the Week. Coulihan led the Cougars to victory last week with 3 total goals against St. Mary's and San Diego. Coulihan is the first player to receive the award from BYU this season.
And the NCAA will honor 10 student athletes in January as winners of their Today's Top 10 award. Included on the list is BYU's track and cross country All-American star Miles Batty. The award recognizes success in competition, in the classroom, and in the community. With awards both on and off the track, Batty leaves BYU as one of the most decorated student athletes in school history. And although Miles Batty may not be running for BYU anymore, they're still coming out on top. Junior co-captain Jared Ward led our number 5 men's cross-country team as they snagged 2nd place in the West Coast Conference Cross-Country Championships, losing to the Portland Pilots by a single point. The Cougars race next at the NCAA Regional Championships on November 10th.
Now as you take a look outside, the weather looks nice, blue skies, nice day to enjoy the outdoors. Leaves have been falling, but we haven't seen any snowfall, and we shouldn't expect to see any over the next several days. Currently, the temperatures are around 50 degrees with sunny skies. But throughout the day today, we're going to see the temperatures increase from 52 up to even 62 degrees. So nice day to enjoy the outdoors. Tonight, though, we'll have another drop in temperature down to 36 degrees. So we want to prepare for a chilly evening. Tomorrow, the BYU football team doesn't play, but the women's soccer team is playing in Malibu at Pepperdine University. It's going to be a little cloudy, but nice temperatures with temperatures all the way up into the 70s. So very nice temperatures for the game, with just wind speeds around 10 miles per hour and humidity at 60%. But taking a look now at southern Utah, nice temperatures. If you're still looking for warmer weather, head down to southern Utah. where you'll find 70s over the weekend, chilly evenings in the 40s, but even into next week, we'll get all the way up into the 80s. So nice temperatures down in southern Utah. Where you can enjoy warmer weather. Even in northern Utah, we're not far behind. Temperatures in the for highs, and then in the 30s for lows. Sunny skies, just a few clouds in the sky, but still nice temperatures. Back to you.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for not telling me about any snow.
Couldn't agree more.
When CougTube comes back, Spike spooked. Fans served up a scare, killing it with Halloween spirit on the volleyball court.
And with BYU out of action this week, we'll go coast to coast with our college football predictions. Our Lady Cougar volleyball team had a spooky throwdown on Halloween with some festive fans. With Cougars and Toreros on the court, the stands were filled with fans who came decked out in their Halloween best to support the team. Are those zombies or diehard fans? The wands, creative makeup, and wigs set the spirit high to help our Lady Cougs seal the deal.
That bloody bunny was scary. But it's time for everyone's favorite part of the show, predictions. Last week we predicted the third game in the World Series. And we all did predict that San Francisco was going to sweep, which they did. BYU, and we also did BYU versus Georgia Tech. And BYU dominated Georgia Tech last week. So right now, me and Sean have the same records because, he keeps copying my picks.
Whoa, wait.
So
Who's copying who?
You're copying me.
Wait, who predicts the first? Who predicts first every week?
No, whatever.
Right.
All right, but this week we're going to pick Alabama versus LSU, the SEC showdown, and USC versus Oregon. So, Sean, let's start with you.
Oh, as much as I hate to do it, I have to go Alabama over LSU, and then I think the Ducks are going to take down the Trojans.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Skylar, let's go to you in the newsroom.
I think Alabama's obviously the best team in the country, well above the rest of the competition. So I'm going to go with Alabama. Then in the other game, I'm going to pick an upset. USC is a little inconsistent, but I think they're good enough. If they come out and play up to their potential at home, they'll beat Oregon.
All right, Matt, let's go to you.
Yeah, I have to agree as well. I think USC is going to pull off an upset at their home game, and Alabama as well.
All right, and for me, I'm going to take that Crimson Tide, Alabama, and I'm going to take Oregon. I think the Ducks will pull out, even though I would like to see USC in a bowl game because, they haven't been bowl game eligible lately and for a few years. And so it would be nice to see them in a good bowl game, but I definitely think Oregon can take them.
No, yeah, as I say, I'm trying to figure out, for example, Matt, Skylar, why do you think that USC actually has a chance in this thing?
Well, they lost last week, but I think they're going to come back this week, and I don't know.
I don't know. Oregon's been dominating every team they play.
The number 6 offense in the nation. USC doesn't have the defense to match up with them.
USC does have a powerful offense. Barkley is still pretty stellar, even if he's not necessarily the Heisman candidate anymore.
It'd be a cool upset. Yeah. All right, guys, that's CougTube for November 2nd.
If you want another look at the stories we did today or to share with your friends, check out the CougTube section of our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for joining us.